Unfortunately, as I did this video, right? It's live. So much fun. So original. You realize that this thing has started that way. That's how I wish it was. I get why all this light people are always complaining. Okay. Good evening, everyone. I hope, like, I made plans, but the devil, right? So good evening, everyone. Welcome. Sorry that it's a bit late. I can't even tell if someone is watching. Okay, no, because I had to switch devices because of power this evening. So, and unfortunately, my notes is on this. I have to use this camera, so I'm going to have to work something out here. Okay, that works. Okay, not here. Give me a minute. Seriously, my hand is just in the camera. Okay, so let's just get started. Just gonna have to do this anywho. So welcome. Like I said, I have a bit of a power issue. Will not be solved at this moment. So just gonna go ahead. So Holy Spirit help me. So I'm just gonna jump right in. So today is just gonna be an introduction for the How We Got Here series. So there's gonna be another one when I'll release a post regarding that when I know, because I don't know right now. So there's gonna be another one soon. So today is just gonna be an introduction. So I'm just gonna talk about how DB Cafe started, what are the things that I feel or felt stood out, all the decisions that we made that brought us here, just like I said we're gonna do. So I'm very sorry I had to change my device because there's no power, which is quite funny because I made all these plans and, well, it's just quite funny. So I can't see who is there, who is not there, or I can't even see the chat. I think I'm not getting something right because I didn't you know, plan to use this particular device that I'm using right now. So let's just jump right in. I hope this is actually live because it's just going to be so weird that it's not going to be live without done because I can't see anything on this screen. This is supposed to have like split screen or something like that. It's not working. Oh, thank God. It's working. Okay, it's not because I'm no longer moving. Hello. Wow. I think I ruined it. I think I broke it. Am I still moving? Oh, that was scary. I thought that went off. So I'm just gonna try to get my notes at the beginning. So I don't know if you know me, but DB Cafe started in 2020. I think that was the Corona year. Was it 2029 or 2020? One of those Corona years. So I'm not saying that I started design in 2020. No. I started design in 2012 as the year I got into Ife, Femi Awolowo University. I started design in 2012, 2013. But we've had several names, though, and many people don't know this, but we had several names. there was Line Colors. That's the only one I remember. Line Colors or something like that. Louise, different names over the years. But DB Cafe actually started in 2020 during the Corona year, and they started. It was me and my brothers. One of my brothers actually named it DB Cafe. I didn't come up with that name. And it was supposed to be a cafe, like I mean, CTP cafe. Like in Nigeria, when you talk about a cafe, it's more like a, I don't know, cyber hub, whatever they say. Like a place where there are computers, where you can, print, type, use the internet and all stuff. Like that was what it was meant to be. But at that time, I was already a designer for several years. Then I was already working for clients, mostly local clients. I had not gone international then. I had not stayed thinking of foreign, but I not started thinking of foreign clients. So the Big Cafe started in, like I said, 2020. So we started then, we had a physical place, and obviously after the corona was over, we decided to, we went our separate ways. Someone got a job, we started doing different things, and obviously at that time I invested money into the venture, so I could not I couldn't stop. I had to continue because I invested the most money. I think maybe my brothers might argue, but I invested the most money into it, so I had to carry on the venture. So basically, we continued. So I continued DB Cafe. Then, and I think I said this in my the video I uploaded last. I was just doing it. I mean, just doing it, just doing the DB graphic design. I mean, if you're into tech or any tech related or any online related stuff, right? You know that you just do it. Tell people you get one client in a green month. But I wasn't putting all my attention into it. Like I said, I had a physical job then. I was working in a school. I was a school administrator. So I was focused on that, and I wasn't doing the DB Cafe something very seriously. So I was just doing it. But then one fateful Sunday, I think it was, okay, I can hear myself. So one fateful Sunday, my pastor, I'm not going to get into it because I've said this part before. My pastor was just passing by and asked me, okay, what are you doing? And he was just like, I told him about my job because I wasn't really talking about the design part of my business, right? I wasn't really talking about it because it was just like a side hustle for me. But I knew that it was not supposed to be a side hustle. It was supposed to be the main thing I was supposed to be doing at that time. But, jobs can be, I'm not saying all jobs, I'm just saying jobs can be a trap. So he was like, he didn't like say I should quit my job. Like he didn't say that. He was just like, what do you mean that's what you're doing? Like, blah, blah, blah. So basically, I started to think about it deeply. So the first thing that, how we got here. So the first move we made was a mindset change. So after that conversation that day with my pastor, I realized that I had the wrong mindset. What do you mean? They were not paying well. I was spending all my hours on this job and nothing. It was just, so it was a mindset change. So that's the first thing, the first lesson I'm going to share, we talk about on this live stream, is mindset. So if you're into tech, you want to start business, you want to do whatever business you want to do, the first thing is mindset. Your mindset you have to change your mindset. Your mindset has to change. It is very, very important that your mindset, you have to change your mindset. Your mindset is so powerful. It's so powerful. It reminds me of this scripture in the Bible where, is it Elijah? I think it's Elijah or Elisha, one of the above, was sent to a widow and said the widow was going to feed him. And then he asked the widow, okay, what do you have? And she was like, I have nothing, just a jar of oil. It was the widow that the husband had died and then they were coming to collect debt, right? and we're going to take their children into slavery. And just like, what do you have? I was like, it's just, I mean, even the way she said the oil, just like she obviously did not see the value, right? So it's a mindset change. You have to just know that you have to, first of all, get some word. Like, I mean, I knew that I was supposed to be doing design or go into business, some kind of business. I knew because I had gotten some word. So when I say word now, I don't mean word. I don't know, Christian word. I need to get some word. So at that point in time, I had gotten a lot of word in me where I had been told several times that, there's, God is doing this through you. God is, there's things that you're supposed to be doing. There's deposits in you. You're created. I mean, there was a lot of word, and I knew that this cannot be the situation I was in. Then cannot be it. I knew. So because I knew that there was a possibility for more, I could even think, okay, what am I going to do? I didn't think, let me just try. I knew that if I start this thing, it was going to go somewhere. I mean, I think that's the point I'm trying to make. If I start it, it's going to go somewhere. It's not just starting for fun or let's just try. I knew then, I was convinced. And I knew that the problem was coming from the fact that I hadn't started it properly. I hadn't put effort into it. It was not coming from the fact that it would not work. I knew. Somehow I knew it. And so, like I said, these particular live streams are going to be for people who want to get into some kind of business or get into tech, and then they're just like, I don't have resources. I mean, I don't have what it takes, so I don't know what to do. I mean, the first thing you have to do before you even start doing anything is get some word. Get some word. Get some word. When I say get some word, I mean know what you know that you know. You have to become convinced of the possibility of that thing that you're doing. You have to become convinced. You have to become convinced. So I was not convinced, and I'm not saying there was no fear, because I'm going to leave my job. I was going to get into something that there's no physical proof that I was going to work. So I was convinced that this thing was going to work, but I was also afraid that I wasn't going to be able to pull this thing off by myself, because like I said, I wasn't in doubt that this was going to work. If I do it, if I was going to put some effort into this was going to grow. But I was doubtful that I was going to be able to see through, and I felt I was not. I was lazy. I wasn't going to be hardworking enough or whatever. So that was also at the back of my mind. That was there somewhere. So I wasn't shaking on the fact that this was going to grow. I mean, nothing that was, I knew that there was a possibility this was going to work. So the first thing I had to do was a mindset change. So I got some word. Like I said, I got convinced that this thing was going to work. It was going to work. It was going to work if I put effort into it. So the next step obviously was convincing myself, or getting more word that convinced me that I could do this, I could work hard at this, and I could do these things, I could do what it required, right? And I didn't get it all the time. When I first started, I was struggling a lot, and I think I really did stress myself too much, because some of the things that I think now, I didn't really have to do some of those things. Late night calls, late night work, a lot of late nights. Jesus, now I think about it, there was a lot of too much stress in the beginning, because I felt that I wasn't working hard enough at the back of my mind. But so that made me to do some things wrongly. That was the first thing. So the next thing I'm going to say that got us here was, like I said, everything ties down to, everything ties together. So after I had changed my mind, I realized that I had to start putting some effort in this thing, because like I said, the conversation with my pastor, I had to start putting this in, because I was also worried that he was going to ask another time, and then I was not going to, I would still say I was where I was. I mean, there was a thing of pride for me, and not calm down, right? I'm humble. Sometimes I'm just kidding. I'm actually humble, but I was like, I'm not going to say I'm still there. I mean, so that also pushed me. I was like, okay, I'm going to go. So like I said, working on my mind, listening to the right things and paying attention to, rebuking myself when I told myself that I wasn't going to be able to do, I can't do this, I can't leave my job. And funny enough, as I changed my mind, people around me changed their mind as well. The guy I was listening at that time was like, he doesn't understand. Why are you still working this job? And he had not been saying this before. Everyone, my brothers, was like, you can, this is something you're good at, do this. And I was just like, why were you not saying this thing before? But as soon as I changed my mind, it's as if the entire earth aligned. And people started to encourage me and convince me. But let me make it clear, in case my parents see this video, I'm just kidding. They did not encourage me. I'm still kidding. But basically, they didn't understand. It's having your child who has graduated from school sitting there in front of a laptop morning till night and you don't know what they are doing. And trust me, it can be a bit of a problem. But like I said, so my point is that not everybody is going to come around, but some people are going to come around. And sometimes that happens because God is trying to confirm that this thing is me, go. And, you see people as, you can't do this, what you have in you, me, you can, what do you mean you're not good enough? I mean, people are just going to, many people saying, to do this thing. I mean, why are you letting this job hold you down? So the next thing, like I said, my mindset changed. So I started, because I had become convinced that I could now say I am a designer, right? I could now say it. I could now say I am a designer, right? Because now, I couldn't say it before. I remember going for an event. Oh my God, this is so, I remember going for an event. And I think we're asked to introduce ourselves. Do you know, I actually said I was a teacher. Like, I didn't talk about my design at all at this time. Like, I didn't talk about it, which is such an important, part of this story. So the next thing is start talking about what you do. You've not started, you don't have clients, that doesn't really matter. Start talking about it. What do you do? Tell people I'm a design, I do design, I'm a tech, like I'm learning. Oh, don't say you're learning. I mean, I don't know, maybe you can, but that's why you need word and you need spirit, because not everybody you can tell you're learning. Some people, if you tell them you're learning, you've just ruined everything. But some people, you can't tell them you're learning, and they're like, oh, really? When you're done, call me. But there's some people that you don't want to tell you're learning. So you need to get word and get spirit so that you know who to talk about, because you don't want to be lying that you know something that you don't. So basically, I started to talk about the fact that I'm a designer. I told everyone. And there was this boldness and confidence that came with boldness and confidence that came with that came with the fact that I think I can see the chats now. So we're talking about, like I already said, let me just quickly go back for you because they're important. So this live stream is how we got here. I'm talking about how DB Cafe started, what are the things that we did, and I got us to this point. So this particular live stream is just an introduction. We're just going to keep it very short. We're just talking about how we got here, what are the things that we did. So it's our backstory, okay? That's what we're talking about. So I've already mentioned my first point, and I'm in my second point. So I started talking. So the next thing, like I said, start telling people. I told everyone, people I met in the cab, because I was still doing public transport at that time. Everywhere, keke, friends, people who were friends, I told them, as I called friends, they didn't even know I was a designer, which is so weird. Now that I think about it, people didn't know. I didn't tell anyone because I had no confidence. In fact, I was already working. There was this church I was working for, I was on a retainer. But I didn't tell people. So that's the first thing. Next thing, start telling everyone about it. People want to be helpful. Like I always tell my students, people want to be helpful. So when someone tells someone that, oh, I'm looking for a designer, the fact that they can tell this person, oh, I know someone who is really good, is a thing of pride for people. So it's not as if you're trying to make all your friends your clients. The fact that they know what you're doing makes them, what do you call it, referrals, for they can tell someone else about you, about what you do, right? So tell everyone. That's the next step. But it will be hard to tell everyone if you've not worked on your mind. If you're still shaky and you're not sure, tell everyone. That's the next step. The next step, because at this stage that when you're changing your mindset, telling everyone, you probably haven't started anything. You're still like, I don't have a phone, I don't even have a laptop, or my phone is bad, or blah, blah, blah. So the next step is to get a big vision. Because starting out is going to be daunting, it's going to be hard. You're going to sometimes you might think, why did I do this? So you need to get a big vision. And so I'm not going to say I was a spiritual. Now I think I am closer to God now than when I started So I had gotten some word in me, like I said earlier, but I hadn't gotten that far to know that I'm supposed to get a godly vision or something like that. But I knew somehow that this thing I'm doing, there has to be something propelling me that is more than myself, more than finances, because money, like I always say, money comes and goes, which is the amount of money that I've seen and the amount of money that I have now. It doesn't, I mean, it doesn't matter. Money goes, money comes. You can't really, I mean, money can never be your motivation. I'm just telling you from experience. It would not work. You would gas out fast. So, at first, obviously, there wasn't a lot of money coming in, very little money coming in, and it looked like this is going to be too much. Like I said, I had some doubts about if I could pull it off. So, I had to sit down and say, okay, and honestly, I don't even know where this idea came from. But the next thing I did was I sat down and got a big vision. So the vision I got, it think came from something my pastor said in church. He wasn't talking to me. I think he was preaching. And I don't think that's what he was preaching about. He was preaching about something different. But he had said something about being the best in your space and being, the best in the country and the world or something like that. He had said something related to that. And obviously that did not become my goal, being the best. I mean, that is just a weak, sorry, that's not a weak, but that's just like something that someone who thinks they are too lazy to do something, that's a hard goal, like to be the best or the designers in the world. Oh, no, no, no. So that was not the goal. So I sat down and I said, okay, I needed something similar but easier. Oh my God, so lazy I was then. Okay, so I sat down and I said, okay, my designs. What do I want to achieve with this DB cafe, with this thing, this design I'm doing? And I decided that, why? I wanted my design to be in every city, every state, every continent, and I made that my goal. So obviously I started so I first of all decided, the idea came, okay, if I want to have my designs in every city, every continent, I need to start getting clients outside my state. I was in Abuja, then outside my state. So how did I do that? I first of all look for classified ads. I had gotten the job I was doing before I even, when I just finished school for my NYC, was in a tech firm. I learned some things. So I knew that there were ads where people post jobs, but I didn't really pay attention then. So I just knew that there was things like that, but I didn't really get the gist of what it was. So I then went and I tried to find out about those things. So, when you Google classified ads, I knew what GG was at the time, but I didn't even know it was related to something I wanted to do. So GG came out, there was OLX at that time. There were many freelance. I think I got on freelancer first, Upwork, then Fiverr last. But I started creating profiles on both Nigerian platforms and foreign platforms because I don't think, and then I really, social media is not my thing. Like, God, I'm not a social media person. In fact, I don't really like taking pictures. In fact, this life feels very weird. Like, it feels so weird that I'm doing this. But this is not something I decided to do actually by myself. It's inspired. So I really was not, but I knew that social media was going to be useful for that goal because, I mean, I can't be traveling to every city on every state myself. That's impossible. I mean, I didn't even have the money to do that then. So get a goal, a big goal, a goal that is bigger than yourself. If you want to be motivated by how much you're going to make, you're going to quit every endeavor and start a new one once you see something else that has more money. And that's what many people miss. You start this thing out, you hear someone say, this one is making more money, then you move there. I have been in design for years and I've never thought, now, do I know about cryptocurrency or investment? Yeah, I do. But I rather hire someone to do it for me because it's not I know that I'm focused on what I'm doing because I have a goal. This is my goal, and I'm focused on it. And it's not about how much I make in a month or how much I make. So I didn't. Now when we make over $1 million a month, yes, but that was not our goal. We didn't focus on that, and that really helped us to be able to make some of the connections with me because we worked for some clients then who couldn't afford to pay what we felt we deserved at the time. But we took it because, this person is in Israel. We've not done anything from Israel before. And we took that Israeli client and they're fighting war. Can you imagine? They're still doing design. Now, wow. But either way, Indian, sometimes sometimes when I see someone from a country that I've worked with, or somebody country in a country that I've worked several times, I'm now come that no, I'm not taking this offer. So far it's too low. When it's like a country that I've never worked in before, and you know the funny thing about this thing is that once I do this, most times when I work for a first client from Israel, let's not say Israel because they're fighting war before they will say something. Let's say India. The next 4, 5, 6 clients will be Indians, and they'll pay more than this first guy that I took. I mean, it just worked somehow. I'm telling you. So get a goal that is not money. So let's make 1 million per month. So get a goal. That is the next. That's number 3. Number 4, get some knowledge. Now, if you're a designer, obviously you're not going to go and start design if you don't know how to design. That's just weak. No, don't. Sorry, but don't do that. So I'm assuming you already know how to design or code or whatever it is. You already know how to make your product, right? Whatever product you have. But get some information about how your product sells, so how your service sells. How do people in your industry sell your product? Now, this particular point is tied down to also another point, which I'm going to make next. So get information. Please go on social media. And some of you, the reason why you're not getting any inspiration is because your social media is saturated with celebrities and not useful information. Like if you open any of my social media, first you probably see is preaching or something, and then you see designers post, or then you see, I think I've been getting a lot of iPhone related posts lately because I was checking on things like that. But that's the reason why you are seeing all those posts, because you're not, if you're a designer, please go and follow designers and focus on looking at designers. And then I always tell my students that you will learn more stuff by mistake than you actually know if you do this technique. Make sure that all your social media is geared towards following and watching content that relates to what you're doing, how to sell your products, right? Not how to do your job. If you don't know how to do your job, please go and do your job, or please. But like, how do they sell your product? How do people in your industry operate? How do they operate? Go and get some knowledge about that. The next thing is, don't get too much information down. Like I see so many designers or so many people who want to start online, social media, and they're listening to too many voices. Pick 1 or 2 tops. And that's always the mistake, because they come to me, okay, they started with me, maybe I was mentoring them at the beginning stage. And okay, I'm telling you, this is what I do. And then tomorrow they come to me and say, hey, they've done this. Who sent you? They say, this person said that. Which person? I always get shocked when somebody, someone was telling me that she spent some money on something. I'm just like, why did you pay? Like, you are listening to so many voices. Don't listen to so many voices. Keep it, and this applies to every aspect of our lives. You can't have so many voices in your head. Let me just tell you now, everything you see on YouTube about getting into tech and making money online is true. It's not lying. They're not lying, no. But the difference between them and you is that it works for them doesn't mean to work for you. You have to first of all know yourself, know your situation, know your product, and know what you can't listen to everybody. Nobody. Maybe some people are lying, but majority are not lying. When they tell you you're a designer, niche down, they are not lying. Niching down works for some people, but it doesn't work for everybody. You can't just listen to every voice and change. Like I said, if you have a good goal, you have a strong goal, you have a goal, you will not even be moved by every window. You have strong word, you will not be moved. But if you don't have strong word, that is money you're looking for. Today they will say this is how they do design, where you change. Tomorrow they will say you can. And some people self don't even act immediately, but if you keep listening to these people every day, different somebody, you're just listening to this one, you're following 500 different designers, they are telling you use this app, use that app, do this one, bro, you will get confused and you get tired. So you don't want to listen to too many. Keep it limited. And I'm not saying, honestly, I'm not consistent enough for you to add me to your list, except if you know me physically that you can call me. But there are people online. I love how Pisky so much. When I started UI design, he made UI design fun for me. And till tomorrow, I don't think I don't just go. When I hear people that talk and they are talking some kind of talk, I know that I'm run away. And I just go, right? And don't take every advice. Okay, if you find 2 or 3 people that you feel, okay, these people are good, I can listen to them and follow their story and use that to build my own venture. Don't take everything they say. It's not everything some of them are not even your country, dude. So you don't expect to, like, see now, man, I'm doing a live and then there's supposed to be solar in this building. I think if I get up, I can probably figure out why it's off. But There's no light. This is Nigeria, for God's sake. So there are things that some of those people will say that doesn't apply to you. Don't switch. Don't stop what you're doing and go and be doing what they are saying. Follow who know road, but not be just know road. Follow who know. Everybody knows road, but it depends on the road that they know. Follow the one that know the road that you are, or the road. I mean the road that you are on. Don't listen. That's a mistake. Don't join every online they say every pastor, every this one, they say they are doing this one. Please, if you are not ready to buy land, don't follow don't listen to every designer out there. And it's true, they are they've done design, they are good, but it's not like that. That's how this thing works. That's why the cafe is here. Oh. Some of the things that people have told me to do, I didn't do them all. So just know that you can't follow. Don't listen. And you say I'm strong. I'm just listening for information. If you carry all those too many voices, but the point where you get to a place where you're supposed to make decisions, you will be confused because you have too much information. Stick to that. Especially if you've used information somebody told you before and it has worked, stick to it. Except that person now loses their mind and starts saying rubbish later. Hey, you can look for somebody else. But don't be listening to don't be everything from you. Oh, this is how the designers do this. This is the latest one. And designers or tech people, please, trends come and go. Learn the basics. Very important. So that's the next. Don't listen to, please. It is very key. Don't listen to we didn't listen to every voice. So many things that we did. We didn't go ahead and pay. Honestly, recently somebody was telling me go and pay for hosting. I didn't pay for hosting. I've been paying for card, which is our website now. It's hosted on card.com, $9 per year. Can you imagine? I mean, we don't need it. A full website and spending so much and girls that you need. I'm probably making more than you. Okay, sorry. I hope he doesn't watch this video. But there are other things which leads to my next step. Please, you're going to pay for things. You're going to pay for things. But find alternative means. And this comes down to this. 90% of people that I know who I've mentored in the past who have not gone far in tech or gone far in their businesses is because they allow what they don't have to deter them. Let me explain. I have so many students. I'm a lecturer, by the way, if you didn't know that. I think I'm wearing my link card. Oh, no. Let me not advertise for them. So, that's what you hear. My phone is not good. My laptop is not strong enough. Dude, I wish I have a picture of the laptop I was using before I bought this laptop. Hey, God, my God, you will cry for me. This laptop was held by tapes because the hinges, what the hinges are, is like this place where that holds the screen to the keyboard had disconnected. It was only one wire holding it. It was bad. It was slow. It was terrible. I found, so find tools. Do you know the funny thing? I realized lately, I was looking for a tool for this software, a website I use for my animation videos. Recently showed a Fable, they betrayed me. And I had already taken a client and then I didn't want to use After Effects because, man, it has been long since I did After Effects and I couldn't start going to watch videos and I had a very short timeline. So I now Googled, okay, animation websites. The first page will just bring in ones that you pay. Someone just told me that, okay, check page. You know when you search something on Google, the first page, second page, check like page 5. And I found this tool. I can't remember the name now because I figured out how to use my Figma and Fiverr. I don't need Figma and Framer now, so I don't need that. But I found this tool, free, very free. Like when I say free, very free. I was not telling a friend something that, most of all these big companies or these corporations, they use their overreach to make sure that all these other free softwares are hidden from us. All these other easy softwares. So I'm a designer and I use Affinity. Please, you can cry or die or whatever. Don't die, sorry. You can cry or shout or scream. I use Affinity and I don't use Adobe. If the client open his mouth or her mouth and say, hey, it's Adobe that I want to, then I use Adobe. Anything I'm doing, I use Affinity. And that was what I used when my laptop. Now my laptop can obviously do more. It has After Effects and Premiere Pro and all those other things. But I'm using Affinity. And let me tell you how it worked for me. When I started using Affinity, I went on Fiverr. I had Fiverr. I told you I was creating everybody. I created freelancer, everything. I created everything, but I don't get any client on Fiverr. So I just since I'm using, I don't even know where this is. Just God. I just decided, okay. So I now changed all my gigs on Fiverr to do book design for you with Affinity. I shall put Affinity, do anything with Affinity. And do you know that there have been people on this Fiverr, hey God, that have been looking for people who are not using Adobe, who are using Affinity all along. And that is how DB Cafe, we have worked for over almost 100 clients on Fiverr now, within how many years? And most, in fact, I'm telling you that it will not go past, I say it will go past, it will not be more than 5 or 6 of these clients that have requested for Adobe. 5. Even if it's 5, like, because I can clearly remember this, 5 or 6 of these people have been the one asking for Adobe jobs. Everybody's with Affinity. So I'm telling you, that's your industry, that your digital marketing, or whatever you're doing, there are alternative softwares you can use that your system or your phone can probably handle. Or there is a friend or a cafe. There is a solution. There is a solution. Maybe in some of our other videos, going to share how you can start if you don't have any finances, or you don't have any, how you don't, as in your phone or your laptop is really, really bad and there's no opportunities around you. But I really doubt it. There's always something. You just have not seen it yet. I really doubt that there's no way you have no good laptops, you have no good. I know someone who didn't have a laptop for years and was in the tech industry, and I even give them some jobs. So let's just agree to disagree on that one. So there's always a way, but there are alternative too. So fine, don't say I couldn't do it because my laptop cannot run this software. That is in this 2025 reality that we are in. That is the life from the pit of hell. Devil is just playing with you and deceiving you. There are tools out there, and you can build a niche for yourself out of those tools. In fact, you can even be good enough with Canva if you really want. But I mean, I don't know any designer that wants to be that is a great designer with Canva. I don't know, but I don't think so. That's just the way I learned. I learned using Adobe Hardcore, blah blah blah. So Affinity is close enough, and so what I use. So I'm just saying, get alternative tools. The next thing is recognize where you are at each point in time. One of the wrongest things you can do if you're starting in tech is underpricing or overpricing. And this comes from the fact that you don't recognize where you are. So where DB Cafe is now, and we barely turn down jobs. So we have built a network of upcoming freelancers, upcoming tech people, blah, 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 where if we feel this particular job, we can't take it because the money they're paying is too low and it's going to take our time and we can't afford to take that price. What do? We give somebody else who is upcoming. So we don't turn down jobs. We turn down jobs, but we don't normally do. It's not a normal thing for us. We only turn down jobs maybe if we get this job and I don't have anybody in my space who is doing this, even though I do it and I'm like, I can't afford to do this thing for this price. Like I said, I've already worked for somebody in that country or that state. I don't need it at this point in time, or I have a bigger client who I'm working for. So I just turned that down. So I just turned that down because I have no one to give it to. But I now become aware that there's a gap in this, and so I get freelancers upcoming, or I train some of my students to be able to do the next one. You understand? I mean, I can't keep the client waiting until I train somebody. It doesn't make any sense. So I train somebody to do the next one. So we barely turn down clients, but we do turn down clients because we recognize where we are. So you don't want to be turning down clients who cannot afford to pay a certain amount when you're just starting. I mean, that makes no sense. I've heard people say it, right? And I've also seen people who they have gone past the stage and they are still collecting clients who are paying less than what they are worth. So it goes both ways. You have to recognize what stage you're at every time. You don't want to continue. You don't want to be thinking you're small when you're already big. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. I don't want to be thinking you're big when you're still growing. You don't want to mix the two. So basically recognize where you are, right? And then the most important thing about recognizing where you are is that you need to be able to know when you need to take some decisions. Like I said, it's not as if I couldn't do design with the job I was doing before. But it would have made things difficult because that job required a 7 a.m. Resumption. So many, it just could not work out. So when I recognized where DB Cafe was, that job had to go. And we weren't making millions then. We weren't. But I knew that I could smell it. Like it was close by. So I recognized where we were, and so I made that decision. And I also recognized where we were when I was getting this job. There's no, I always felt, I say it every morning. Anytime somebody asks me when I was negotiating for this job, I was like, bro, sir, I was respectful. Like I said, I'm humble. I beg, probably think I'm not humble. I was like, I can't, my business is at a stage, I prioritize it. I love what you're doing here. But, and in fact, we have an understanding, me and the management of this place about, we have so many results of students who have come under my training who are doing well. So it's been beneficial, enjoyments, right? But they've not done well because they off so I mean there's no light and the solar is off today when I'm doing live. But basically we have so and you recognize where I was. If not, I would have gotten into a contract that might hinder me. Like let's just say, because I want to keep my word. I don't want to be seen as someone who is just doing anyhow, right? So I try. I'm not saying I'm doing 100% all the time, but I try. So I recognize where we were. And everybody else, and that's like I said, I remember when I first got the job, they gave me the first contract they gave me. I took it home. My brother was like, "No, you're not signing this thing. This makes no sense. What is this? This is not like, no. He read it. I was like, "No, blah, blah, blah. You can't do this thing. Your business is doing well now. You gotta, And I was just looking at his mom because he's not the kind of person to do that on a normal day. Because many people recognize even when I didn't see it. Many people notice that, oh, this business is going to grow, it's going. And my brother was like, don't sign that, return it. What do you mean? So we recognized where we were. We recognized where we were, and so we knew what to turn down, what to go with, so we didn't go with. We made, so you have to recognize it every time, maybe every quarter or something. Just sit down and know, where are we? What kind of clients should we be getting now? And then change your strategy. Go and get, and sometimes you have to leave some of the people you're following to get new people because you have eclipsed them in your own movements, right? So you need to now get the new information for this new season. That's what I'm trying to say. So the next thing, how do we get here? After that, what did we now do? So we now decided, so we started, so we recognized where we were, we started putting things in place. Some people they come to me and they say, Miss Lily, oh, Miss Lily is what they call me, oh God. I want to start getting foreign clients. How do you do it? What do you do? And they don't even have a dollar account. What do you mean? Where would they put the foreign dollar? Where would you would never be motivated enough to do what you need to do to get those big clients because your bank account is 70K maximum you can put inside. Even your Nigerian account, if they put more than 70K, they will block it. And then you now want to be making 1 million. Where will you put the 1 million? So people don't even know what they are saying sometimes. Sometimes when I look at them, I love when people are talking to me, I love looking at their mouth, their lips. I will not be looking at the lips. I don't do like this. I hope you know the. You need to know. And I've told so many people, and this thing is like a spiritual, let me not say, but it's like a spiritual something. The moment you open a dollar account, you will say money inside a dollar account. It's something, especially when you have something you're doing. Something will shall do, maybe you get one client or one family. Because you have it there, your brain is now able to open up to opportunities to see those, because you are like, have that account, the money should be there. It's just like it's a mindset thing too. So when I realized that, we are going everywhere, we need to have everywhere account now. What do you mean you don't have? So I started to, like I said, another thing. Everything ties together. I don't want to go to UBA. Let's leave that for another day. So I had, I no longer have. I had, now I'm going to the bank in a few days. Trauma about going to Nigerian banks. There was a big trauma that I didn't want to do it. I knew that this thing must be done. because that's where we are. We are at this stage. We are going to get foreign clients. We're going to get foreign work. We're going to get money sent from different countries, different states, different cities. We need to have everything ready. And then, you know what? The scale you are in, you need to have a bank account that says your company name. So obviously, first of all, registered. We couldn't register the big one. Then we are supposed to have upgraded. So God. So basically, we did registration. Then I opened. I was searching everywhere. I went on YouTube. I found, okay, how do I get this dollar account without having to go to this bank? Wow. And so I found, there were so many, but I think I stopped with Gray in the end. There was just something about cheaper cash. I mean, cheaper cash was like the main reigning one day, and everybody was saying, but I just have this thing, you know, I learned from how Affinity dealt with me. I say Affinity, Adobe dealt with me, and I found Affinity. So there's this thing at the back of my mind that I always propels me towards alternative softwares, I don't always go directly for the first. I don't just, not every time. I normally always take my time. If I see something else, okay, let me check for other ones. I don't just jump to number one option. So I've learned my lesson from that Adobe and Affinity situation I had in the past. So I don't just go for option one. So I did. I just knew I didn't want cheaper cash, so I found Gray. Gray was just starting then, so I did Gray. And I prepared everything, linked Gray to Fiverr. I did Payoneer first, then I did Gray. When Payoneer sent me one email. I'll check. They said something, they're increasing their price. If you don't like it, you are free to move to, as if it was such a rude mail. The mail slapped me, like I was like, no, this Payoneer must go. And so that's when I found Gray. You see, it's God that did them. Because when I was on Payoneer, I didn't even make up to, we have not seen $1,000 at that time, or 500, because we couldn't even apply for their card, because you need to have you need to have received at least $500. So I remember we couldn't apply for their card, so we have never made up to $500 that time throughout the Payoneer lifetime. But since they say we should move, if you cannot tolerate our new, it was such a rude mail. I don't think any company should send short mail ever. So we now moved to Gray, and that's where all the dollars are now. Okay, no. So Gray too. They don't used to give you interest. So we now move to. So now we use Gray, but Gray is like our receiving pocket, and then we now have investments. All our dollars receive the price first, where they actually give us interest. The interest. I bought these glasses. I'm just kidding. But anyway, so that is how it goes. So always look for alternatives. Always look for alternatives. There's always alternative software. And finally, before I start to just ramble, finally, guys, you must advance your skill. It's so key. Please finish your course. Somebody was telling me something about he's an engineer. They had boys training, apprentice, and then how many weeks? Once they just learn something, it was so funny. They didn't even learn it well, though. They just go and clear bush. I say that clear bush, I buy spanner. I say they are already mechanics, and then they start pulling cars. Look, don't finish your course. First of all, this one, go back. This is 0.0 before 0.0 now number one. Go back. Finish whatever course you do. I don't care what you're doing. Please finish that course. No matter how you are sure that you have learned everything, finish the course. Finish it. Let it be. Finish your course. Now you can start things on the side. Don't just jump ship. Finish your course. And also always improve, expand. Learn more. Especially if you're in this, I don't know what they are doing here, because my brain can't carry coding. I can become a whatever developer if I want to, but I don't. Like I said, I feel for now, maybe one day in the future, I focus on my design. I don't know what they are doing somebody comes and says they want to build something or do tech, because I do UI. I just call one of those. I have plenty of people around me who can do coding, and so I just call. I don't know Web3 or whatever. I don't know, but whatever it is they are doing, they are doing now. Please keep up. I'm not saying be moved by every window. I'm just saying know your market. Know your market well. And don't just know. Some people say, I know the practical, I don't know the theory. It's the theory you use to get clients, my dear. Because some clients, they want to talk to you and they want to smell your brain. That's what I call it. Smell your brain before they give you their work. So know the theory to be able to talk about it intelligently. And you don't even need to get a university degree for this. You don't need, you don't need to get a university degree. Just, know the theory. At least, you don't need the big grammar to convince a client. Know the theory part of this thing. At least so you can talk about it. That's just it. Don't just say, oh, practice brief. You bring it laptop and I can do it, but you can't see anything. No. It doesn't help you. Because clients are going to talk to you first. They're not going to open your computer and see all your code. Right? So know the theory too. So be able to talk, so you're able to talk about this thing. So I think so. So we positioned, we knew our value at time per time. Finally, I already said finally, because this is just a bonus tip. Please also learn about business. Now, I don't care what you say. People say freelance is not business. Freelancing is business. So. Freelancing is business. And there are some things, and you don't tell yourself that this is for social media is not for me, or tech is not for me. I like physical. You are just deceiving yourself. I don't like social media. I'm not a social media person. In fact, I think I should have promoted this life better than I did it. I'll do it better the next time, because I don't even think I'm about to post on my Instagram. But basically, you can't say that. You can't. You want to do this thing. You want to do this thing to work. You can't. You can't say that. You can't say this is not for me. If that thing is necessary for that business, you will do what is not for you for that business. I'm not good with numbers. Go and get some knowledge with numbers. And there are so many apps, softwares, trainings. Get the knowledge, because you're going to do numbers. Honestly, I don't think I will be here, but we will be here, because Vivek is more than me now. Before somebody will come and watch it and say, what do you mean, me? You didn't call us. Okay, basically, we wouldn't be here if we didn't start doing proper. We calculate every penny we get now, how we spend it, expenses. We know expenses, giving, donation, savings, whatever. We do all these things. How much is in our investment? How much is... So you don't have to... So people say, no, you can't say that, bro. Sis, you need to know what you need to know for your business. So learn some basic. I'm not saying you should go and do Harvard Business School. You should, if that's where you feel you are. But you need to do business. If you're selling something, I tell you all these people that sell bags, perfume online. Hey God, you're joking. If you don't have strong financial knowledge, you don't know how to do your financial analysis properly. Because it's just like you'll be bleeding money. Some people don't even know that they are running at a loss. I was talking to somebody, and the person told me how much they make this thing. And he was like, oh, how much do you sell it? He mentioned it. I asked him again, how much do you sell? Like 5,000, because I was expecting him to get it. Like, wait, too. Yes, the guy is just giving free gifts. And you're not complaining that you're not making any money. That's why you're not making any money. People who will buy, but you cannot sell under your cost price because you're trying to. That makes no sense. I don't see why you would do that. Better you wear your product yourself. It's better you wear your product yourself. That's just that's my honest advice, right? But there should be, if you don't do these calculations, you would think you're making money when you're not. You would think you're making money when you're not, because you can think that. You can think that because you always have money to spend, especially when you are leaving your parents' house and they are giving you food. You think you're making money when you're not. So you need to do some calculations. Go to those, open your bank app and start calculating how much you made. Who said you have to do that? You have to learn those things. You have to learn social media. So yeah, that is how we got here. Now I want to say that the controversy about, especially for design, let me now focus on designers, about paid courses and free courses or whatever, all those things. Because someone was talking about it recently. So let me just hammer that. I didn't pay for any course that I took when I started this, that I didn't pay. I didn't pay. But I paid, I think I paid for like 2 or 3 courses now. But I started making money and getting clients before I ever spent any money. And I'm not, like I said, everything here online is true. But that doesn't mean it will work for you. So I'm not saying take paid courses, don't pay courses. But what about people who cannot afford to do paid courses? Right? So and that in another one of my videos, we're going to talk about how to become a designer for free. the methods I use, that's another day. This is just how we got here. So that's how we got here. We learned about finances, we registered our business, we made it easy for us to, jump on opportunities. We created foreign accounts. We created social media. I didn't mention collaboration. Collaborated with other people. Okay, I know I mentioned it. Collaborated with other people for jobs that we couldn't take. We recognized our level, and we recognize when we have passed a certain level, and then we are able to make adjustments to suit. That's the most of the thing. And most important, like I said, you need to get some word in. Like I'm telling you, is not now. When you say these things, it sounds like this. Some of these stages, like I said, went on for years. The stage of, I think I worked in that school for 5-6 years. It was a long time, and so some of these things you don't want to repeat the mistakes that we made. So get some word, get some good counseling, and don't be someone that people cannot talk to. I think that is also important. Don't be someone that not cannot talk to. Like I said, and don't jump steps. Don't go out and start telling people what you're doing when you're not already convinced. They will convince you out of it. That's another thing. Because my family wanted me to do. Somebody even said my mom wanted me to do civil defense. I had been convinced at that point. But if I wasn't convinced, I would have done it, and I would have not. There will not be DP Cafe today. I'm very sure, because I know jobs can be a problem sometimes. So get convinced. Tell people. Please. For years, I had an alarm on my phone that reminds me to post. So these are things. Trap yourself by yourself, because you know your weaknesses. You know your weaknesses, and so you have to put things in place. I had an alarm for years. Now I don't, because people, I pay someone to do my social media for me now. But in those days when I had to do it myself, I put an alarm, maybe 2-3 in a day. My calendar was so full, post. And sometimes I didn't post every. That's why I had several. You understand? So I didn't post every time, but sometimes I would just be like, I'm so tired, but I still, I use those things to force myself to do it, right? So those are the things that we do. Those are the things that we did. We got on social media, we got on YouTube, we got TikTok. Oh, TikTok, my God. We'll get back. So we got on TikTok, we got on all these places. And you can't do everything that is fun for you. You can't. Not everything is fun. Not every client, not every job is fun. Some jobs are very annoying and you don't want to do them. They are just boring. Sometimes on UI. I was telling one of my team members recently that I'm already over that UI. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm bored. But I will still do it, right? But so you're not gonna don't think you're gonna do only what you like. Don't quit too many clients. Don't reject. These are just tiny pieces of advice. These are the things that we did. And I think on my flyer we said make over 1 million, but I don't think that's not true. We probably make way more than that per month. We spend a lot, because these days we are paying for it. We need to reduce how much we need to reduce things we are even paying for. What do you mean? There are free softwares everywhere. But so there's no questions. I don't think there's any questions. So I'm just we're almost at it's supposed to be 2 hours really, but I'm already, sorry, I'm not bored. I'm already tired of talking. So these are the things that we did. So going forward, let me get serious. So going forward, we are going, there you go, no marketing for these people. So going forward, I'm going to make a better plan to make sure there's power and my system is on and my phones are powered up. So going forward, I'm going to type. So this is just how we got here, and we are still growing. So where we are now, we are not. DP Cafe is a global. I missed one. See my note. I can't see my note. This thing is off. God. I didn't plan well because I didn't think that there would be any situation whereby there will be no light. I mean, there's solar here. What do you mean? So, and that thing is Your words are so profound. I missed it. I don't know what number it is in. Your words are so profound. I think I started calling DB Cafe global long before DB Cafe became global. Before we started having foreign clients. In fact, I even call myself a global one these days. So your words are so important. Don't just add that. I don't know. Put it inside somewhere in case you are taking notes. Put it somewhere. Your words are so key. Please don't focus on you have a bad phone. I agree. Your laptop is not strong. It's always cooking. I agree. But don't say it all the time. Don't say it all the time. Don't focus on it. Don't focus on it. Don't. In fact, whatever name you call your business, Dansky Global. Oh, Dansky is real. Dansky is on YouTube. Not him. I mean, I'm just Jemima Global. I don't know anything. Just use positive words all the time. It helps you. It helps you too and pushes you. So thank you all. I know more people are going to watch this till later, right? A lot of you that didn't join my live. So I'm going to do better marketing next time. Better, not marketing, better promotion next time. But I didn't want many people to join this first one because I was a bit. I didn't want many people to join this first one. Actually, I knew. If I wanted many people to join, I know what I would have done. So, isn't it? I didn't want many people to join this first one. I just wanted to talk about how the Big Cafe got here. So let me just say the next one. So this particular series is going to be for people who want to get into tech, or people who have gotten into tech and they've not seen so much of traction. I'm going to be using a lot of design illustrations because I'm a designer, but these things are going to work for any freelancer. So that's major. But if you're already big and you want to support the ministry, I mean, it's fine. We like to see you there. So basically, that's what we're going to. So the next one, we're going to talk about courses you can take, things you can do, how to, like I said, how to become a designer for free. I'm not saying you're not going to pay for things. In fact, I really, like I said, if at some point you're going to have to pay for a posting or something to get your portfolio or something. But for now, there's so many free options. So the next one we're going to talk about is becoming a designer for free. How do you do it? How to become a designer for free? Courses you can take, how to use YouTube. That's what we're going to do in our next one. So I'm going to answer questions in case you come back later and watch this live. Then you can drop your questions in the comments, or if you know me personally, you can send a listen to my personal inbox, or you can there's an email is on our YouTube channel, or you can send an email to db.cafe@aol.com. So thank you all, right? I will see you guys in my next live video. Bye. How do you now stop this thing now? Hey, whoa, don't cover the camera. How this camera is actually looks clear, or maybe it's just the screen. Oh, bye.